So we talked in a previous video about the rankings of neighborhoods based on this RE/MAX study that really considered quite heavily the proximity to local amenities and whatnot here in Winnipeg. But what I found was that a lot of those communities offer older homes, and a lot of the time I'm finding that people moving to Winnipeg are actually looking for newer construction options. So today I've gone through some of the newer developments and put together a list of my top 5 neighborhoods to live in Winnipeg if you are looking for newer construction options here in Winnipeg. So stay tuned. Hi, I'm Jennifer Queen with the Jennifer Queen team in RE/MAX Professionals, and thank you for watching today. I'm a local realtor here, and I have assembled a list of communities that I feel represent great value to live within here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, if you are looking for newer construction options. Now, newer construction is definitely subjective, and for me personally, I ranked these based on any communities built really 2000s and newer. So that is what my list is based on, but keep in mind that if you're looking for new construction, there might be neighborhoods not mentioned in this report too. Now, the factors that I gave weight to in picking out these communities were as follows: amenities within the community, education ratings, affordable housing options, and crime rate. So here are my top 5 in no specific order. I will just get right into the list. The first community I focused in on was the Bridgewater community. Now, when I say Bridgewater, I did not narrow down on any of the specific sub-communities within that area. So when I say Bridgewater, I mean Bridgewater Forest, Bridgewater Trails, Bridgewater Center, and Bridgewater Lakes. So all of those are being considered in this. In this area, you're going to find that there are a ton of different housing styles, including bungalows, cab-overs, attached homes, condos, and you're also going to find some mansions there too, waterfront, substantial homes with walkout basements that would, by Winnipeg standards, be considered mansions. Now, if you're looking at Bridgewater on a map, you're going to see a fairly substantial area within Winnipeg, and it has grown at twice the speed that anybody anticipated it ever growing. And I think that just goes to show how much people are wanting to get into that southwest quadrant of Winnipeg in newer construction options. Now, because of the quick development, it's not quite caught up with all of the amenities it's offering, and that includes schools. Most kids in the area are being bused outside of the area. Well, all kids within the area are being bused outside of the area to attend their schools. However, there are plans for schools to be developed. I will include an article linking the plans for these upcoming schools below. One other negative I just want to point out, and I don't like to draw attention to it, but I find it's often a concern for clients moving here from elsewhere, is that the further south you get in the area, the closer you are getting to the Brady Landfill. Now, the Brady Landfill is outside of the perimeter, so on the other side of the perimeter from any of this area, and it is quite a distance from most of the area, but the more south you get within the neighborhood, the closer you do get to Brady Landfill. I have heard that some people living in the more southern neighborhoods of the community say that they can smell Brady Landfill on a hot summer day if the wind is blowing just right. So just something to keep in mind. And also, it's not all Bridgewater, the more northern parts. I've never heard those complaints before, but the more southern portions of it I have. So, you know what, just consult with your realtor about what is too close to Brady Landfill before buying in there, just because you don't want that surprise to hit you in the nose on a hot summer day. So this area has a higher than average annual household income. The average household income, according to the 2016 census in Winnipeg, was about $87,000 per household, whereas Bridgewater residents, the average household income there is closer to $135,000. Again, this was 2016. I believe those numbers have likely gone up, but we're going from the most recent census statistics. And just to give you some ideas on pricing, the average home price for a single detached home in the first quarter of 2022 hovered right around $706,000 for one of those homes. Neighborhood number 2, Sage Creek. So this is another newer development in the southern quadrant of Winnipeg, but now we're getting more into the southeast portion of Winnipeg. This area still has construction ongoing today. It has developed a school within its confines, and the province has announced plans for another school. I will link that article as well in the comments section below, but there should be 2 schools now servicing the area. In terms of amenities, there are actually a lot of amenities placed within the area. However, because it is at the very corner of the city, like super south, super east, resting against the perimeter as one of its borders, what you will find is that sometimes it can be a little bit further in terms of getting to amenities, but we're not talking a super long distance here. Like the Safetel shopping center is literally a 10-minute drive from the area, so it's actually pretty close to everything. It's just not as close perhaps as some people might want to, say, being able to hop on a bike and get to the mall or something like that. So the area houses at this point just over 6,000 residents, which is a pretty large community. And it is, again, pretty self-sufficient. There's a Shoppers Drug Mart, there's grocery stores, there are veterinarians within the area, and just like optometrists, a variety of options in the area. And also it has similar household income to that of Bridgewater. It is $135,000 annual household income, according again to that 2016 census. The homes in this area are slightly more affordable than those of Bridgewater, according to the stats I ran for the first quarter of 2022, with an average home price there of about $688,000. Amber Trails is the next neighborhood I want to cover, and it's a neighborhood that really hasn't gotten nearly enough attention on this channel. We have actually had people reach out to us more than once to request one of our neighborhood videos on Amber Trails, and we are working on it, I promise. And it does need some attention. It's one of the fastest growing communities within the city of Winnipeg. It now houses over 9,000 residents, and it has great amenities and low crime as well within its confines. So the average household income in this area is about $110,000, and the homes in this area are a little bit more affordable as well, with the numbers I'm running closer to the $600,000 mark for a single detached home. Area number 4, and I did say affordability, and so bear with me, but I would say this is the least affordable of the options in Winnipeg, but I feel like it needs to be touched upon because there is a huge draw to live within this community for people wanting something with perhaps a little bit more affluence and substantial homes. So the 4th option on this list is actually Royalwood. So this is kind of like a tucked away area in the city. It's sandwiched between Island Lakes and the Seine River, and there aren't really any schools within the immediate area. If you live in the area, your children are going to be bused outside of the area to other schools. However, the homes here are fairly substantial, and again, the community itself is fairly affluent. Residents within the area often appreciate the proximity as well to the perimeter because it represents a nice, quick and easy access out of the city should they want to get to the lake kind of on the weekends. There's some very substantial waterfront homes in this area, many of them selling upwards of $2 million at this time. And for the purposes of this report, it represented the highest household income according to the 2016 census, and that was an average household income of around $172,000, and that was the 2016 census. Now, this is also, like I said, the more affluent neighborhood of the options I selected today, and they do have the highest average residential detached home price as a result, and that's right around $813,000 for the first quarter of 2022. Area number 5 that I selected was Canterbury Park or Canterbury Crossing, and I'm talking about the newer portions of it, so where the homes are built 2000s and newer. So Canterbury Crossing is the older portion now, although those homes aren't that old, where Canterbury Crossing is the newer, more southern portion of this area, and they are experiencing development even today. There are still builders selling lots even, and the last phases have not yet been released at the time of filming. So this area actually represents the most affordable of all 5 areas that I have selected. It is as far east essentially as you can get in the city, right along the perimeter. So a lot of people also enjoy this area if they want a quick escape out of the city in the summer months. And it also represents one of the more affordable communities, like I said before. So what you're gonna find in this community are there are a lot of young families, pretty good school offerings as well as a result. The average household income in that area is about $102,000 according to the 2016 census. And the average home price in the newer portion of Canterbury Park and Canterbury Crossing, so only those homes that are built 2000 and newer, is the lowest of the options on this list at $584,000 for the first quarter of 2022. So there you have it, my top 5 choices for newer-ish areas within Winnipeg. Now I just want to add a couple notes here that there are some neighborhoods that I kind of glazed over in doing this report just because there weren't the statistics out yet. For instance, the census data. A good example would be, say, Ridgewood West, which is another community I love and wanted to feature, but there just wasn't the same data to kind of put those data points together for in arriving at this evaluation. So there are a few that got left out, but these would be my top 5 that have the information and development and history, at least, that we can do this evaluation based on. Do you feel there's any communities though that I missed? Be sure to add them in the comments section below. I'm always happy to do features on and top 5 neighborhoods again, just based on different criteria as well. And again, I'm Jennifer Queen with the Jennifer Queen team and RE/MAX Professionals here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Thanks for watching today, guys. Be sure to hit that like button if you found value in this video and subscribe too so that you see our future content. And also, if ever you need any help with your buying or selling needs here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, be sure to reach out. My contact information will be in the comments section below. Thanks and have a good one.